What the hell am I doing to this poor tank? But this particular company, they've been hounding me. It's like a fight. Ha-ha, fight. And it's, who was gonna win the fight? I'm gonna do a product review. I don't really do product reviews. I feel like I'm hurrying myself out for some free stuff. You know what I'm saying? I am not gonna do a review on a product that is not gonna provide something extra, something special, produce more value than the normal everyday products that they could get anywhere else. It needs to be something that that's a, ha, this is it, you know, one of those things. There's two criteria. It has to solve a problem and it has to save you money. Now, everything here is on pumps. I want to get rid of the pumps. I want to go all air driven. One of the reasons why I want to get rid of the pumps, the mechanical pumps, is because of the plugs. I got rat's nest of plugs. I got power bars everywhere. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. But the problem with air driven is the noise. With the amount of tanks in this area, now you have to deal with multiple pumps, which now you got extra plugs. I wanted to use one pump that was not noisy, that was powerful enough to do all of this, and if I wanted to do more later on, it would give me that option while checking the boxes of my two criterias: inexpensive, solving a problem. This company hit me up and I put them to the test. They tried to get me to do a product review on some product, and I was like, you know what, those product reviews are a dime a dozen. There's probably product reviews on this. There probably is, but for me to bring it to my viewers, I felt like it had to solve a problem. Small fish room areas and apartments and stuff like that, you want to use sponge filters. That was a problem. Price wise, I got to look on Amazon or whatever, but the price range is fair in my opinion. Out the box, they give you this particular product. This product is AQQA. I want to call it AQUA. Apparently, they don't want to be called AQUA. They want to be called AQQA. Please let me know what your name is so that I can call your name correctly. This model is the AQQA AQ067, 15 watt. And it boasts, this is what it says it does. Let me get my spectacles out. It says it does 356 gallons an hour, and it's rated for up to 1,000 gallons. I always wondered how they measure that. How do they measure that? Because if you have an air pump and you have it this high into the water, it pushes way more water than if you had it way lower in a deep tub of water because of the air, because of the pressure bearing down on the air. Like the air has to push all that way down. So I always wondered how they judge that. Anyway, it's not as sleek and streamlined as what they are making a lot of other pumps to be. So that, you know, like a lot of them are all smooth and ergonomic. And this one is kind of a throwback retro style, in my opinion. And that kind of just, you know, kind of jumped out at me from the jump. But okay, whatever. You know, it's not like the looks are important. It comes with this 4-way gang valve. I wish they gave me an option for larger valves, larger gang valves. Because if I was going to use this on multiple 10 gallons, I would need more of this. You know, I would. So if it's rated for 1,000 gallons, that means they're giving me this to only do 4 250 gallons, or 1,000 gallon aquarium with 4 drops. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I could get them on my own from other places, but it'd be nice to get them all in one shot. And it gives you a 6-inch silicone, very wibbly wobbly, which is good, connector for this. It's heavy for its size. It's like a brick. It's heavy, which kind of makes me excited because that means there's a whole lot packed in this little package. I'm curious about how much heat is gonna be put out, because if you got a whole lot packed in a little package, I'm curious to see how that's gonna do, how it's gonna put out. I'm curious about the noise. One thing that I'm super pleased to see is these 4 rubber feet. All right, now you see things with feet, right, with rubber feet, it's more of a rubber covering, a rubber coating. It's not really, it still has a lot of vibration to a lot of these rubber feet that a lot of these have. The rubber is kind of hard, right? This stuff, look. This stuff right here, look at that. Look how easy it bends. Now you might go like, oh, that's cheapy. I believe this is gonna provide way more vibration stability, you know what I mean? Because of the ability for it to, you know, vibrate and shake and shimmy and not and move independently. You know what I'm saying? So I was really pleased to see how that came out. You know, it's about a 1/2 inch. It's very soft rubber, you know, and it's very, you know, wibbly wobbly. Another thing that it came with that I thought was super cool is this knobby thing right here. This is the control knob to make it high or low. And it actually has a click. You hear it? And it has quite a range. Like I'm turning it and it's turning quite a bit. The reason why I'm really happy that it's right here is normally these things get put way underneath something or way in the back somewhere. And what happens is if you need to adjust the knobby, if it does, you got to reach back somewhere. You have to get down on the floor and this way, all you have to do is go to the plug and, you know, do this and that. You know what I mean? Wherever it's at. So I was real happy to see that. For the 4-way gang valve, they give you silicone tubing, and they don't give you just a little bit. They give you, let me see how let me see. One of them is, I got a 5-foot wingspan, so that's 5, I don't know, about 6 to 7 feet. So 4 of them at 6 to 7 feet. The only problem I have is that they cut them for you. They cut them into sections for you. If you're listening, I would appreciate if you would have kept it all in one roll. I'm gonna have to do something because some of my tanks are closer where I only need 3 feet, and some of them are further where I could have used 10 foot. You know what I'm saying? So if it was all in one row, it would have been nicer. You know what I mean? But here's the part that makes me really scared about this pump, putting it in all these smaller tanks. So everybody's familiar with these air stones, right? These are the air stones that this is the standard air stone size that people get from the fish store. They either this size, they either this shape, excuse me, or they have the cylinder drum shape. But it's still generally the same size. This is the monster that it comes with, and it gives you 4 of them. It comes with 4 of them, right? So what it's telling me is that they believe that this pump, this thing is not adequate for that pump, that it's gonna need 4 this big. So that kind of worries me a little bit. Like, oh snap, these things are pretty damn big. Maybe I overestimated how big of a pump I needed. And it came with 4 one-way check valves so that you don't have a back feed of water, which I can't seem to find right now.
So these are clacker balls. You have to get them exactly adjusted. You got to adjust your balls exactly right.
I got them all set up. I got it plugged in. I got it in the off position.
You got to pull one down.
You remember back in the, for you Gen X, you remember back in the day, those little, they had like little balls on a string, and then it was a stick, and it goes clack, 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 and you swung them up. That's what this reminds me of. That's about the weight. That's how heavy these are.
And you lift them 1, 2, 3 straight up, 2, 3, 4, and up. And you got it going. There you go.
Just for the fun of it, these are two 15-gallon aquariums. So I'm gonna put 2 of them in a 15-gallon aquarium for a pump that's rated for 1,000 gallons. So let's see what happens. Pretty confident that at least this will work the amount of tanks I have here. I've been wanting to drill these tanks out so that they can fit PVC uplift tubes. It's super quiet. I mean, but you all the way up on it. You all the way up. The sound of this is more than the sound of that motor. With the feet. Huh? So you see it here? I got that sponge filter and I got that sponge filter right there. You see those 2 sponge filters? The air pump I have for that is buried beneath all of that. You see that? I got all of that buried because I wanted to keep the sound down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill these out. I'm gonna drill that hole out to fit a 3/4 PVC. And I was afraid to do it in the past because I wasn't sure if I had the right equipment to do it. I feel confident that with that I can make this possible. I gotta get a drill bit to drill that out, and that's gonna be the next video, is upgrading this entire 5, 6, 7 with that grow out all on one pump. And you could do it too with just a couple of feet of wall space and that pump. You could have your own little fish section. And just for the little bit of time I've had it, there's absolutely no heat coming out of it. I can't tell you what it's going to be like later on. I will do a follow-up video on this product. But as of right now, I'm very, very happy with the possibilities of what it can do for me. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.